Good morning, NCFCA Nation. My name is Kim Cromer, and I am honored to serve as the League's Executive Director. We're excited that you've chosen to join us for one of the largest national opens that we've ever hosted. We're blessed that our online platform allows for affiliates just like you to join from the comfort of your own home and grow your communication skills. Of course, our mission is founded on challenging and equipping ambassadors for Christ for whatever the Lord calls you for. So before we start our tournament activities this morning, I'd like to introduce you to an NCFCA alumni dad who's using his communication skills in full-time ministry to help families pass on the gospel baton to their children. Chap Bettis is the founder and executive director of the Disciple Making Parent Ministry. He also has a book by that exact same name. He's here with us this morning to share the morning's devotion. So welcome, Mr. Chap Bettis.
Well, thank you for tuning in to this online devotional. My name is Chap Bettis, and I was a NCFCA dad for 12 years, and all of my children participated in NCFCA, their junior high and high school years. At the same time, I served as a lead pastor in New England, but you may know my name. I wrote a curriculum called Fearless Apologetics to help with the apologetics category. But this morning, I want us to think about one of the teachings of Jesus. You know, it's a confusing time to be growing up as a student. You're growing up with a time of social media, which with its increased connection has led to more loneliness, more anxiety, but you have all these influencers trying to influence you. And so this morning, I want to help you understand a few things. I've sort of labeled them what I wish I knew, what I wish someone had told me growing up as a Christian. And the first is this: I wish someone had told me what was normal for kids like me growing up in a Christian home. That even though I understood the gospel and had repented of my sins and believed on Christ at an early age, that actually my child's body was growing into an adult body, and therefore my child's faith needed to grow into an adult faith. And therefore doubts were okay. I wish someone had said, that's okay, that's normal, and let's figure out the answers. I wish someone had told me that true Christians would always be in the minority, and that's okay, because our faith is true. You know, Jesus said, broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many are on it. Narrow is the road that leads to eternal life, and few find it. And so it can be unnerving to realize, actually, Christians are in the minority, especially in our country, it seems at times. And yet our faith is true because of what Jesus said in his resurrection from the dead. I wish someone had told me how to defend my faith against those who attack it, that it takes more faith to be an atheist than it does to be a Christian, that the proof for the truthfulness and the goodness of Christianity is overwhelming. So Jesus is the truth. It's not my truth versus your truth. It's Jesus is the truth. I also wish someone had told me why there seems to be a mess in the Christian world. And this is where those who are they're not atheists they're per se, but they're cynics. They kind of fold their arms and they say, let me point out all the people who say they're Christian, but they're not acting in line with Jesus' teaching. And so somehow they want to discredit Christianity. But Jesus himself predicted people like that. He says, not everyone who calls me Lord, Lord will enter the kingdom of heaven. So he predicted that there would be people who called him Lord that were not acting that way. So actually, those people who would say they follow Christ but aren't living like it are actually fulfilling Jesus's words. That doesn't disprove Christianity. But in our time together, I want to focus on this last principle, that I wish someone had told me that the Jesus life is the good life. You see, because the cynics don't stop with tearing down the truth of Christianity, but the goodness of following Jesus. They'll say Christianity is oppressive, it's harmful, it doesn't allow people to be their true selves. But here's what Jesus had to say. He told a story, and he said it this: everyone who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain fell, the floods came, the winds blew and beat on that house. but it did not fall because it was founded on the rock. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. The rain fell, the floods came, the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. See, what you have is two people who are building houses, and you and everyone around you is building their life also. One person's house in the Jesus story is right on the beach. It has a beautiful view. You get to walk right out on the water, but it's built on the sand. Another person's house is built on the rock. So it's conjecture, but it's probably a little further back. And I bet, Jesus doesn't say this in the story, but they look at each other. And the guys who built his house on the sand right by the water is laughing at the other guy. He's saying, come on, move your house down here, build another house closer to the water. And the one who built his house on the rock is wondering, did I really do this right? But what neither of them is factoring is that the storms are coming, that the storms of life, the storms of eternity, that the question is, will their houses stand up under the storms? And of course, in the story, the one built on the sand collapses and the one built on the rock stands. You're building your lives and you're being encouraged by entertainers and others to build your house on the sand. But Jesus said that if you hear his words, follow him, that you're building on the rock. So don't look with envy on those who are happy without Jesus. You should pity them because the storm is coming. And your life, if you're following Christ, will stand firm. Let me pray for you. Father, thank you for these words. And I pray for the students as they begin their day and really as they begin building their lives. I pray and ask that you would give them the faith to choose to build their lives on your words and not be deceived by those who are building on the sand. I pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Good morning, affiliates. We hope you'll be glad to take a few moments with us to thank some of our NCFCA sponsors. Please note that all times for meet and greets will be Central Time Zone. Let's begin with our platinum sponsor and host of our 2022 National Championship, the University of Northwestern St. Paul. You can meet with a representative from this outstanding university at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. Our first legacy sponsor, Patrick Henry College, is committed to standing for Christ and for liberty. They will be greeting families during two sessions, one at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow and again at 3:30 p.m. on Friday. Be sure to stop by for a chance to win the valuable prize of a free teen leadership camp registration. Our second legacy sponsor, the Homeschool Legal Defense Association, operates the HSLDA Online Academy, which is dedicated to providing quality Christian online courses for students everywhere. NCFCA affiliates enjoy a $50 discount on these quality classes. Stop in to see them on Friday at 10 a.m. We're pleased to have representatives from our gold sponsor, Anderson University, joining us to greet students and parents at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Anderson University is located in South Carolina and is one of the country's most respected institutions of Christian higher education. Our gold sponsor, Covenant College, provides excellent liberal arts education from a gorgeous mountaintop in Georgia. They will have a representative greeting students at 2:30 p.m. tomorrow. We thank our gold sponsor, Dallas Baptist University, where the goal is to transform the lives of students who will transform the world, all for the glory of God. Our gold sponsor, Erskine College in South Carolina, has been preparing students for lives of learning, service, and leadership for more than 180 years. They will have a representative available tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Our gold sponsor, Moody Bible Institute of Chicago, seeks to be a place where students are equipped for how God will transform the world through them. Stop by to meet one of their representatives at 11:30 a.m. tomorrow. Regent University, another gold sponsor, provides excellent support and opportunities for homeschool graduates from their beautiful campus in Virginia Beach, Virginia, where they seek to train students to use reason and faith to make a positive difference in the world. They will be available at 3 p.m. on Friday. We want to thank our like-minded friends at Worldview Academy for their continued support of our organization and our shared goal to train the next generation to engage the world with truth and grace. We're excited to welcome our silver sponsors from the Coolidge Foundation for a meet and greet opportunity on Friday at 11 a.m. They provide a debate competition in early July with expenses paid and over $15,000 in prizes. At the meet and greet, they are offering a free copy of the book, Why Coolidge Matters. Representatives from silver sponsor Foundation for Economic Education will be joining us tomorrow at 10 a.m. They offer training events and community building for those who want to learn more about finance, economics, and entrepreneurship. Representatives from our silver sponsor, Grand Canyon University in Phoenix, Arizona, will be available tomorrow at 4 p.m. They offer speech and debate scholarships to a school with a vibrant community of hands-on learners. They will be giving away 2 fun swag bags. Our silver sponsor, Student Senates Across America, will host students tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. and on Friday at 2:30 p.m. They provide a well-rounded civics education experience for homeschool families, communities, and co-ops. Representatives from our silver sponsor, Unbound, are excited to share information about their project-based approach to higher education during their meet and greet session on Friday at 11:30 a.m. Our silver sponsor, Wave Leadership College, is offering a chance for Chick-fil-A gift cards at their meet and greet at 11 a.m. tomorrow. They are located in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and their mission is to equip Christian leaders to build the local church and transform their communities for the glory of God. As an organization, NCFCA is blessed by these organizations that are willing to provide funding and resources that help keep our mission affordable and sustainable. Please take time to welcome them and thank them for what they do to make NCFCA what it is.
Good morning. We are so glad that you are here with us for the 2022 Online National Open. We have 437 competitors here, and we are excited to get started. But first, we have a few important reminders and announcements to share with you. First, a reminder of the timeline for our rounds. Ballot selection is underway right now for our community judges. That begins approximately 45 minutes prior to each round. Followed by that, we will release postings and begin balloting parents. Parents will be given opportunities to select ballots in groups. After all of the judge slots have been filled, we'll add times for speaking slots and we'll release ballots. And then we'll begin again for the next round, approximately 45 minutes before the round. During parent ballot selection, we ask that you please choose a ballot quickly but carefully. Please use the Contact Tournament Administration button if you can't find a suitable ballot or you have any questions about the process. Here's a few reminders as you go through that process. Please do not take a ballot with a student that you know well or have coached in the event. Please avoid taking a ballot for a room with another family member who's already judging in that room. Please do not take a ballot for an event if your student has advanced to elimination rounds in that event. Please do not use someone else's login when you're judging. Please do not select 2 debate ballots in the same round. And we'd also ask you to avoid observing competition with students that you may be able to judge in a later event. Parents, you must use a supported device and browser. If you have any questions about that, please see the technology guide that can be found in the judge guides or in the tournament prep guide. You may view your participants once you have selected a ballot. The Join Room button will appear once all ballots have been selected and assigned to judges. Once you see that join room button, we ask that you join your room immediately. We also ask that you would set the room status to judges present and ready when you are ready to begin, and to in progress once the round actually starts. Unless there are technical difficulties, please keep your camera on. Please keep your microphone off when a student is speaking. The speech speaking windows are important to mind. Competitors are scheduled in 15-minute intervals. Please make sure that the competitors conclude their speeches by the end of their speaking window so that the next competitor can start on time. If a competitor has technical difficulties, those are accommodated for by allowing a 15-minute window. They are not eligible for additional time or re-addition at the end of the round due to their technical difficulties. If a student begins late, they must stop speaking at the end of their speaking window. The head judge may interrupt them at the end of their allotted time. Students should not be allowed or encouraged to start early before their speaking window. Any remaining time after the prior speech is reserved for judges to be making their notes. Judges, please do not ask a competitor to wait for beginning their speech or their prep time once that speaking window has begun for them. In the event of technical difficulties, use the need help status to alert tournament administration. If the functionality in the competition room is not working, please exit the room and use the contact tournament administration button on your dashboard and monitor your phone for possible contact from tournament administration. If you do not see other participants in a room when competition should be starting, please try exiting the room and re-entering. In the event of mid-round technical difficulties, debaters should change the room status to needs help if a judge loses connection or is unresponsive. In speech, if a judge seems to lose connection, the competitor should continue speaking. A judge should set the room status to need help. If students believe a judge has missed the entire speech, they may contact tournament administration. For connection difficulties, you can change the resolution for your video or turn off incoming video by using the gear or video symbols next to the video boxes. Turning off an incoming feed will not impact others. You may also move closer or plug into your router to improve your connection and speed. We have a couple daily tech housekeeping items for you. We ask that you would restart your devices at least once per day. We recommend that you clear your browser's cache regularly and reset your router daily. A few parent-judge reminders. Be sure any fellow judges are present before you begin. There will be one judge for each debate preliminary round, 3 judges for every speech round, and 3 judges in debate elimination rounds. If you are selected as the head judge for a speech round, please look at the head judge instructions that can be found in the judge guide. Please do not give that responsibility to someone else without speaking first to tournament administration. Please be ready for your next round as soon as possible. We will be giving ballot due times, and we ask you to honor those so that you can be ready for the next ballot and we can be ready for the next round. If you have any questions or concerns, you can use the contact tournament administration buttons at any time. Students, please watch for those round start times and your speaking times. The times are posted after the judges are paneled. Be ready in your room prior to your start time. The first extemp draw is 5 minutes prior to the round start. Be sure you're following all of the timekeeping rules. Debate competitors. Debaters must time themselves. They may use a phone as a timepiece, provided that they take responsibility for following all of the rules related to electronic devices. Debaters may use forms of communication other than the in-room chat, but are still responsible for following rules. Evidence exchange must be via the file upload or the evidence exchange chat. Links to evidence are not permitted except as part of an evidence citation. Accessing links to evidence sources is not permitted during the round. Some speech room protocols. Students, please enter rooms prior to your speaking time and wait with your camera and mic off. Turn camera off before exiting rooms, but before speaking, be sure your judges are ready. Competitors may politely ask the judges to make sure their microphones are muted. For limited prep speakers, click the button to release your topics at or after your assigned speaking time for apologetics, impromptu, or your draw time for extemp. Your camera must be turned on in order to draw your topic. You may turn your camera off during your prep time. Be sure your device clock is set to the correct time in your time zone in order to release your topic. Extemp competitors, please do not turn on your mic or your camera to announce that you're beginning your prep time. Script use rule reminders. The script rules state that any script or notes used during the speech must be visible to the judges. It is the student's responsibility to make sure the script or notes are visible to judges. In addition, we're asking that you announce to the judges if you are using a script or notes before you begin your speech. A judge should mark script use in prepared speeches if a script is visible. If a script is not visible, judges are welcome to ask students at the conclusion of the speech if they used a script or notes. We have a few safety reminders. NCFCA is committed to fostering a safe, positive, and encouraging tournament environment. If you have any safety concerns, you may dial this number. This is for safety concerns only. We have zero tolerance for bullying, physical or verbal abuse, coercion, stalking, intimidation, verbal or sexual harassment, discrimination, or any other behavior that places the health or safety of oneself or others in jeopardy. We also have a more than two rule. Students should not turn cameras on in a competition room until more than two competitors or participants are available. Thank you for listening to these announcements. We will also post them on the tournament information page. Go and compete well and have a great day.